late in giving our contributions out. The checks were written 2025, thanks to Kelvin telling us that they needed to be. And now in 2026, we're going to give the money away. But we're going to do the contribution distribution on February the 12th. So appreciate it if everyone can be here for that. Very important. I think Dr. Cash is here that day. Is it? Scotty Gilbert? Okay, I wasn't sure. All right, great. So that's a big part of our mission is to be able to obviously take care of the kids of Cleveland, Bradley County, but the contribution helps them in doing that job for the nonprofit organizations. I need for some member to step up and take a hold of birthdays, sickness, sympathy. Oh, that's sympathy, all right. I don't want to say death. Sympathy's bad enough. I'd like for somebody to take of that and make the list of what we need. Rob Nepper now has got our laptop ready to go next week, rolling on the screen. We'll be giving the programs for the month. We'll be giving birthdays and so on and so forth. So somebody will get in charge of that. And other things that are of interest to the club, we'll roll on that before the program. So we're looking forward to that. I think that's a big plus for us and for the members to get a hold of what's going on in the club. You got anything else, Bob? I'm done? I'm going home. No. I'm going to turn it over to Bruce Bradford. He's going to introduce our guest.
Thank you again, the Mix 104's team, for covering this today. And
update, right? Sir. So, and I know you had the mayor last week. Yes. I know he said how nice that was and everything. He's not that nice. No, we get along well. Do we agree on everything? No, we don't. But we generally get things done. I can tell you, I'm going to give you a presentation today of the things that we have been able to do since 2018, and a lot of the things I hadn't mentioned. I see City Fields represented here. Let me say this. We train inmates and we offer training with them in Cleveland State beyond anybody in this area. And that I couldn't do it. It just don't take one person to do that. It takes a lot of people and input and working together, and I appreciate you. I'm going to limit this to 10 minutes because I said I want to take questions, because I want you to ask me the tough questions, and that's the reason I'm here, and I represent you. So I'm going to start out and tell you that in 2018, when I first asked the privilege to serve as your sheriff, I made 3 clear commitments at that time: to protect our officers, to protect our children, and strengthen our jail. These promises are not slogans, they were my obligations. Over the past 7.5 years, with the trust and support of the people of Bradley County, the Bradley County Commission, the Bradley County Mayor, that has been honored and fulfilled. Together, we have taken measurable steps to make Bradley County safer than it ever has been. Every patrol vehicle, as of this year, will be equipped with top-of-the-line in-car cameras, enhancing officer safety, strengthening accountability, protecting the public, and providing training, invaluable training tools. Each patrol deputy and school resource officer now wears a body camera, which works in concert with the in-car cameras. They're the same company and they work together. And I'll stop and get away from my presentation just a second. I remember when I was campaigning for this job, I was standing at McDonald Ruatan Club, and I told them then, if your son or daughter works for me, and I don't work toward getting cameras, no cars to capture if they were to get hurt or something bad were to happen, that's kind of on me. So we have worked toward that, and we're there. We've actually signed a 10-year commitment with Axon to keep them in the cars and on the deputies for 10 years. So I can lay that aside. But the officer's body armor, when I went in, it was all over the place, and you got to understand whether it holds up or not. After 5 years, the expiration on that body armor says 5 years. So what I done was set it up on a 4-year rotation, so everybody's body armor is replaced every 4 years, so we get ahead of the program. We placed a resource officer, which was already there in every elementary school, and strengthened security at the middle and high schools, both Walker Valley and Bradley. Because of generosity of private citizens and local businesses at no cost to taxpayers, our school resource officers are equipped with top-of-the-line equipment. And I've never went out and made that public, and I don't use it for the wrong reasons. We try to use it for the right reasons. But if somebody wants to come and threaten any one of our schools, be careful what you're asking for, because we're trained and we're kind of ready, and they have it on their person. Okay? Don't go to any locker and have to get something. They're there with it, and we train and we're ready. What else we got here, Rob? Where we at? Inside the jail. Inside the jail, we have invested technology such as body scanner coming into jail, modern barcode check systems instead of paper logs when they go through the jail. The corrections officers check every hour. They can now take their phones that are assigned. They're not got internet or anything on them, just barcodes. I try to stay on top of that. The jail now has been Tier 1 accredited by the state of Tennessee for the first time ever, and I'll be working on Tier 2 as we go. It actually benefits you by paying you a little more for state inmates to pass in Tier 1. I think you get $6 more now, and if I pass Tier 2, it'll be an additional $6 to house any state inmates that we have to house. In addition, since 2018, we put in a new tankless hot water heater system, the installation of 50 HVAC units, and a new roof has been completed on all of the old building, including courts. When I say we, I mean not just myself and the men and women of the Bradley County Sheriff's Office. We includes elected officials who recognize the importance of these investments and make responsible financial decisions. And we includes the citizens of Bradley County who continue to support, respect, and trust those who wear the badge. So now as I prepare my budget, I plan to ask for the increases and prioritize them in the following areas. And you'll see them as we go. It's not going to be a surprise. I've talked to the mayor. He knows about them. He knows what I'll be coming with. First of all is officer pay. I'll get to that. And next is new vehicles for our patrol division. Then the building maintenance, and last will be the officer's uniform allowance. The 4 areas I plan to increase in, that's those. Everything else I've told them in the command staff yesterday, we stay stable where we're at. The 4 things I have to increase in are those. I believe today we face a new challenge, which I can't ignore as their leader, and also I'm responsible to the taxpayers. Right now, Bradley County post-certified officers, that means the officers on the streets, the courts, the SROs, are considerably paid less than surrounding agencies. You see the graph on the board. Because of this gap, we're losing experienced, qualified officers to other agencies. I had one this morning turn in from Murfreesboro PD, is leaving. I've lost 3 to McKaysville, Georgia in the last 6 months. I've lost people to Cleveland PD. Cleveland PD has adjusted their pay. We have not, and I have to ask and try to keep those people. If you look at the graph, and I can tell you there's 2 counties below us, and that's Meigs and Polk. And I think we can do better, and we have to do better to keep good people. If this trend continues, we risk something far more costly than a budget increase, the gradual erosion of experience, leadership, and quality within the sheriff's office. We risk being forced to replace seasoned officers with constant turnover, fewer applicants, and reduced institutional knowledge. The path does not strengthen public safety, but it weakens it. Our deputies run toward danger, while others run away. They protect our children, our families, our neighborhoods, and our schools, often at great personal sacrifice. Competitive pay is not a reward. It's a recognition and responsibility we place on their shoulders every day. Bradley County has proven we can do it the right way, carefully, responsibly, and together. Supporting a pay increase for officers is not about politics or budgets. It's about preserving the safety, stability, and quality of law enforcement that this community deserves. We have momentum within the sheriff's office, and we certainly want to keep that momentum going. With your continued support, we ensure that Bradley County remains a place where excellence in law enforcement is not expected, but sustained. Why is it important to retain seasoned officers, you ask? Look no further than the TBI crime stats, which are statewide and they're published on their website. You're welcome to go look at them. I can tell you that I looked at them when I was over criminal investigations, and I kept up to date because my daddy always taught me if they go in your house, a burglary is one of the most serious crimes you can commit. Because not only does it terrorize you, it terrorizes your kids, it terrorizes your whole family. And I pay attention to aggravated burglaries. And as you see, cleared by Bradley County, 60.9%, state average is 18.2. Aggravated assault the same way. The total crime overall clearance rate is 78.1 to 37.8. You can make the decision as you should be. The only thing I could do is speak up for my officers where it needs to be, and I have to do that. And I have to speak up for good people, and I want to keep those people, and I would like to build on what we have. Where we at, Robert? Build a aging fleet, patrol cars, and let me tell you what happened. Okay, I know for the last 2 times I've got cars, I get them every other year. And on the off years, I get $100,000 to buy used cars. So they give me, generally I've been getting 12 to 15 cars every other year, new cars, and they all go on patrol. Because if you call for a car tonight at your house, you won't want to get there. You want the best cars, so the best cars go to patrol. And I want to make sure they got the best cars to answer the calls. With the ARP money, the federal money that was passed down by the Biden administration, for the last 2 times they bought cars, they have bought cars out of that money. Does that make sense? So don't think I'm putting it back in, because it's something that probably we need to be thinking about. When you see that in the budget, I have to ask for those cars every other year to keep up the pace, to keep decent cars. If it makes sense to you, and I'll be glad to take questions about that. But we have to get better building maintenance. The building is now 22 years old, and the one on Johnson Boulevard when they moved out was 20 years old. It lasted 20 years, the last jail. This one's in pretty good shape. We've replaced a lot of things to try to keep it up, but the cost of things and the tearing up of things keeps going up, so I have to increase that sum. Okay, and it's not astronomical increase, but I got to have enough money there to take care of it. Kind of the policy with the auditors changed this year for the first time ever at the sheriff's office. And now we cannot, we could use purchase orders from the previous year we had left over. They've cut that out. Now they let us use them 6 months and it's gone. You can't use them anymore. So I have to operate with the money we have, and I can't go back and get the money I've saved from the last one. Does that make sense? So now I'm on a line, and I told the mayor, you got to work with me because I'll have to put the money on front of the budget if I can't get to my money or we can't come up with a solution. But it's, go ahead, Robert. Uniform allowance. And this is a big deal to me because other agencies have left us behind. Nobody's really addressed it. And we get $400. That's for everybody to buy all their uniform stuff. Everything. Every officer, every CID gets $400. And that's been going on for 12 to 15 years. So I'm going to try to increase that $100 and bring them up to $500.
That makes sense.
That's good. That's reasonable, and it ought to be done. I mean, a shirt now would cost them $80, $90. So to just think how much they could buy, well, I expect them, if that's the way we've operated for years, probably better a quartermaster, but we can't afford that, just so we could issue them their uniforms, but we're not at that place. Okay? So that's generally it, is it not? So I'll be glad to take questions and shoot them at me because I'll be glad to try to answer them. Go for it.
Has ICE operations increased your population or decreased your population?
Same as. I've not changed. See, the way it started in this state, ICE, what we had to do, our responsibility was anybody that comes in doesn't have the checklist, a driver's license, or able to prove they're a citizen, we have to let the DA's conference know. So I have signed up now with the 287G, and my program is this. If you're arrested for a criminal offense in Bradley County, we're going to have the ability to run you through the system. If you're here illegally and you get charged with a crime, ICE will be notified. Does that make sense? That's where I'm at. Really, I don't have the manpower to do anything else. But that's what I've agreed to. That's what I've signed up with. My officers will have to be trained, but it's not in motion yet. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Has ICE removed many people from your jail?
They will every once in a while. If we get one and run them, or they put a hold on one, we will hold them and they will pick them up. Yes.
Sure.
Hey, Mike.
How many deputies do you have on staff
I
now?
was gonna ask that too.
How many post certified on the post side?
What, just number of deputies?
Yeah. Am I wrong, Robert? Saying 110 total people? That's including courts, SROs, people on shift. I've got shifts. Our patrol shifts are 12 on a shift. And you start figuring people sick and off, you get down. But I require 8 at least on a shift, even if we have to work overtime.
So I guess what I was just thinking about, the plan to get these officers paid up to a more competitive level, is that in process, or is that something that, I don't know the county government situation. What do you have to do to
Let me give you a little history,
Okay.
just briefly, as to where, when I took office in 2018, really, the pay hadn't been addressed for whatever reason. Corrections officers, when I took office, made $29,000.
Oh, goodness.
$29,000. That's ridiculous in that world. I've got them up now, the starting pay, because they put me in a step plan system which pays them a whopping 0.9% a year just for staying, which is not much. It's just, but I was able to get that in, and now they're at 43, whatever it is. They're at 43 from 29. Patrol officers started out at 34,000 in 2018. I've got them up to 46.4. Is that right? Starting. So what I want to go to is get the middle of the pack. You seen that list? I want to go to the middle. All I'm asking is, folks, let's go to the middle of the pack. I'm not asking to go to the top. No, we can't. But we can certainly sit down and have some legitimate conversations about how can we get there. I don't want grandma and grandpa to have to pay any more. Understand? I think we need to look what we got. How we used it. Can we put a couple of things on delay a couple of years? And then we got to take care of our first responders overall. And I think it's time do we want to be known in Bradley County as the ones lagging behind with the smaller counties? I don't think so, but maybe you do. but we'll see. You have to talk to your county commissioners. They're to be the ones that make the decision on this. Whatever your thinking is it's okay. The only thing I could do is present this, but I represent my officers, and I'm not worth a grain of salt if I don't do that. But I also represent the taxpayers, and I understand that. We got to be reasonable, but we got to move forward. Does that make sense? Yes, sir.
What do you estimate the cost to train an officer?
Oh, well, what's the academy? 3,000, 3,500, something like that now? So you start out with that, then you got to go through all your FTO and everything. You got to get psychologicals, you got to get your physicals, you got to get your polygraph test. There's a lot of testing. So my guess, as I stand here, just to outfit them and train them,
Yeah.
you're going to go at $12,000 to $15,000, and that's minus the car. Remember, you got to have the car. I'm talking about their immediate equipment, their person. Go ahead. Yes, sir.
Do those salaries we saw up there include benefits, or is that?
Yes. Well, that is the total salary. Yes. And so what I have to figure, see, the mayor's office figures all that, but you add what, 18 to 20% more? Anybody know what it is right offhand? But you add to that, because when I work with the raw numbers and I'm trying to get a figure as to what it's going to cost us, I'm looking at that number, then I have to go back and add. So the 43,000 would be with the benefit. I mean, that's the total amount they make. And then, go ahead, please.
For the statistics about cleared, what does it mean when the crime is cleared?
Yeah, different ways. Either arrest, cleared by we found something, we done this, exigent circumstances, failure to cooperate to the victim, and they'll get to a point where, oh, I don't want to. So it's different ways, but we clear cases. I've always been big on clearing cases, keeping up with your cases and make sure they get cleared, because that's how you're gauged. Yeah, but you're welcome to go to those crime stats. Crime in Tennessee, TBI website, compare us to any agency around here. Compare us. Yeah, you'll see what you got, because it's not me. I push them. I'm pretty much old school, and I kind of push every once in a while, but they generally know what I expect, and they do the job, and I appreciate them.
So Steve, what, 100 officers or somewhere in that area?
110 posts, and then you got the people in jail. So you got 210, 215.
How does that change in your mind as this population grows?
Oh, well, listen, I probably should be standing here today with you saying we probably need some more people on the road. But I can't. I got to prioritize, and what do I got to do? First of all, I got to take care of the officers I've got, right, and make sure we've got enough to cover your needs. But I've also got to try to secure those officers and keep them here at home, or keep them with our agency. I don't want them going to McKaysville, Georgia PD, right, and I don't think you do either.
No.
But when they make, and don't quote me this, but I think I'm right. McKaysville, Georgia PD is paying $53,000, I believe, starting. We're at 46. Listen, in today's world, those kids, those young people that are going through the academy, that's what they look at. They ain't paying attention to retirement. They ain't paying attention to this. They're paying attention to what are you going to put in my pocket today.
Right.
And that's where we're at in this world. And we have to get the starting pay, but then I can't leave the starting pay and just address it. I have to take care of the officers that have been there for 10 years. Does that make sure? And move them up equivalent. Because if I do that, I sound good, but I'm really not benefiting the people that's been there for years either.
Right.
Yes, sir.
I don't have a question. I just want to say thank you for allowing us. You invest a lot in allowing people to go into the jails and educate.
Yes, sir.
We're doing 9 classes this year, which is up from last year, just with the Riley County Sheriff's Office. So thank you for investing.
Thank y'all.
In individuals in the jail and hopefully helping lower that recidivization. So
We appreciate y'all. We really do. And people really need to realize what all goes on there, and we appreciate you.
Yep.
Yes, sir, Coach.
I'm just curious as to what body armor in the last 4 years. Should you ever change out the body armor?
Well, now listen, I'm not expert in that, but I'll tell you, all body armor says 5 years. You know, am I getting away from Mike? Am I messing you up? 5 years, and I'm not gonna take that risk. When it's got a tag on it that says expires in 5 years, I replace it. And
What would cause it to expire?
I don't know. I really don't know if the breakdown in it, is, you all know? Do y'all
Yeah,
know?
there's a couple of things. I know. I used to work
Tell me about it. Did speak up.
The manufacturer, it wants to limit the liability to 5 years. The fibers and the weave can undo
Break down.
itself with age
Yeah.
and wear and make it less efficient in protecting the body.
But don't think, as you stand here liability wise, and they got that little tag on it that says 5 years, we better get it replaced. Because we put officers out there that are outside that load. Imagine where that puts us liability wise. We won't ever be able to pay officers. Go ahead. Anybody else? Charlie?
I appreciate your officers, because, last time I had Bradley Cleveland game,
Absolutely.
county and the city both were there, and that uniform does wonders. That chart you showed with the pay
Yes.
system, only one that should be above us is Hamilton
Can you
County.
put it back up, Rob? There you go.
No, you ought to be number 2 behind Hamilton County.
Well, I'm going to tell you the way I've got it planned is we will go right here. Now, is that enough? No. No, but it's reasonable, and I said I'm gonna stick to the plane and try to go middle of the road first and at least get our officers up to where I think they need to be. I think they need more. Don't think as I stand here, but I've got to represent the people that have to pay too.
I hope eventually you're number 2.
Yeah.
Ray County and Monroe County should not pay more than we pay.
I'm really amazed that Ray County pays, they jumped their pay. And you gotta understand, these counties started jumping their pay and Hamilton County took the first leap. And then people started going on up and on up and on up and everybody started jumping. Monroe County, Tennessee,
That's Madisonville and Sweetwater.
that's Sweetwater and Madisonville. So anyway, they're a lot smaller than us population wise. And anyway, I just think we need to look in the mirror and do the right thing, whatever y'all feel the right thing is. I would appreciate you addressing it with your county commissioner, the mayor, just let him know your feelings, because I just don't, but I don't want to penalize the old people either. The older people that retired, we got to come up with a solution here. That's what we need to start sitting down and looking at. Coming up with a solution. How are we going to deal with this moving forward?
And Bradley County's gonna continue to grow.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
Go look at the houses. And we have growth. Now, how much money we come back and say we have from growth, I don't know. I'll let the mayor handle that. But I'll tell you, we have got to keep up and build law enforcement to be able to serve you. If you call to your house tonight, and somebody's kicking in the back door, you want them to get there? I do. And when I leave this job, I will want them to get there. So we all do, I think, and we've got to look at, I'm not here to bash anybody or saying, but we're behind folks and we need to get caught up. We need to get there so the people feel protected and I feel good about laying my head down at night knowing I've done the best I could do for both sides. Go ahead.
Yeah, another statistic that you don't have is when criminals know what your closure rate is, they'll go to some other county.
I hope they do. We certainly hope they do. I tried to get the word out.
Word gets around.
Yeah.
And those media teams-
We tried to spread the word, don't do your business here. I said I'd like to put a sign up on each end of the county like they do and say, if you come here and do your business, we're going to be after you. Because,
Put that up on your
but I'll tell you, and I'm just telling the truth, I'm going to make this very widespread. You get some of these bigger cities, they don't care. They just take report. See, I'm kind of old school. I may be the last one that has this office is old school, kind of. And I believe if they break in your house, they better give everything they can to find them people. If they steal your weed eater, they laugh, and there's a joke going around that Lawson will walk past a dead body, but he wants you to find that weed eater. And that's probably the truth, because I'm more old school, and I believe that violates you in no way whatsoever if they steal from you.
Question, Steve.
Yeah, Chuck.
Exit 20, is there cameras there now that can, if someone gets off exit 20, is that helping you too, or?
License plate readers.
LPRs were a big topic. and I believe if they're used right, they're do good, because here's what we had. Coming up from Chattanooga up South Lee Highway would be the little gang members, and they a couple of times a week, and they would go in neighborhoods. And I wanted those LPRs because if a stolen car comes by, they tell me a stolen car is up here. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
And if you can be of a benefit, I don't want it for any other reason. I won't tell me if there's a stolen car or a car wanted. That's all I want. Don't tell me nothing else. You know, you get into people, you're invading their rights. I don't want to know about anybody's rights. I mean, know anybody's business. I don't need to know that. I need to know who's violating the law. That's all I'm looking for. If I get a notification there's a car, yeah. Have we got LPRs? Yes, we do. We quietly use them, and we look for stolen stuff. We look for cars that's entered in CIC for whatever reason. That's the only way we use those, right, Robert?
Yes.
Robert's actually heads up the LPRs, so you can ask him anything to do with those. Cities got them. We got them. I'll tell you what. Some of the cities have them on every corner. Over in Mount Juliet, you can't move in Mount Juliet unless you get on the LPR, but they ain't got much crime. There you go.
One thing
You?
I was just sitting there looking at Wright County, Monroe County, even Blount County and Meigs County and Polk County, for sure, all of those probably don't have as many officers, so their expense is down, and that gives them a better per person, per officer
Yeah, that's true.
amount of money.
Yeah.
And so, unless you compare how many people we arrest, how many we solve,
Yes.
these kind of things, which we're up the top on that. So it does explain a little bit there. In other words, the county size, Meigs County will never have as many officers as we
No,
do.
no.
And therefore, you know, maybe they can't cover as much ground. But what we're doing on that part of it is great. But I think we do need to raise our officers up to where we can compete.
That's all I ask, is go the middle. Go the middle. If you think we ought to go above that, take county commissioner. But I think we ought to. What I will be presenting will be to go to the middle. And I hope they work with me. I hope at least they hear me out. I can tell you, if it's turned down, I will appeal it to the end as far as I can go in the commission, and that's what I can do. But I want the officers to know that I'm their voice. If I don't sell this, nobody else will. So I represent not only you, but I represent them, and I have to balance that out and be right.
That's right.
And I appreciate it. You. Anything else?
I assume when the other counties hire them, they don't have to retrain them, so they don't have.
No, you're done paid the training, so you done paid for them. So I just lost one to Murfreesboro PD. They're starting them out at $72,000.
Wow. Yeah. Are you finding with all this social media stuff about officers and pulling over people and people being so disrespectful to officers, is that actually occurring in our area as well?
Nah, well, you can have it occur, but it's very few.
Yeah.
I think the majority of people, no matter what, they respect us around here.
Right.
We're kind of blessed to live here and do. But since we're blessed and we take care of good people, I hope good people will turn that around and take care of the officers as well.
It just astounds me that, you know, I mean, I always taught my kids, it's yes, sir, no, sir.
Well,
sorry, sir. And
listen.
if you don't agree, fight it in court.
In this life, and managing people, I've learned this. Nothing surprises me. Some days I go, did you really do that? Some days, did we go over the jail thing? Let me say something quickly about the jail the fences. I had people, the women's intake sale, so when they get put in there, word got around, if you'll jump off the top tier, you'll get released. Huh. Well, I had to come in and put up, one bill from Erlanger cost me $38,000, right? So we come in, and if you see it, it's enclosed now, the top. They can't go jump. It cost me $35,000.
Right.
So I told the mayor, I said, listen, They're jumping, I've got to do something about it. So we got the anti-jump fence up there. Really, every one of those pods need that fence put up.
Oh, wow.
Because it's not just that pod, they'll do it in the next pod. Somebody else, but we've done that, we just got completed. It's just it's something all the time. The jail will try you, sheriff CPR one coming in, they beat their fentanyl. You know, I feel bad, I don't like the bad news, but folks, that's part of doing business in today's world.
Yeah, that's for sure. What about, contraband in your jails? Is that still a big problem?
We've really cut it down because the fence outside the jail, here you go again. Mayor, I told the mayor, I said, y'all want this place to look like a Holiday Inn, and they go up to the windows. They could go up to the windows, and what they started doing was drilling in the windows in the cells, taking a heat gun, drilling in the windows, putting a straw in and putting drugs through. And then on the doors, see the doors right here, they could walk up to them. I got them inside pulling a string through and outside feeding it through to get drugs in. And I said, I have absolutely got that fence around here to keep people from getting in, not people from getting out. So we finally got this done.
Wow.
We finally got this done, and we put in a body scanner, and we put in, it's just, it's something, but you try to keep them out. We have done a pretty good job, but it's always gonna be something get by you. My people are not radiologists. They can't tell exactly, but it's still pretty, we've cut it way down. Is it 100% tall? No. No.
That fence doesn't look too tall there. What's, you got some electricity in it?
This one?
Yeah. that-
Yeah, it's what, 10 foot?
I think it's 10 foot.
10 foot?
Oh,
10 foot, and it's got barbed wire on top of it.
Okay.
But that's a whole lot better to have. I'm not complaining.
Rick, you may have a hard time getting.
Go ahead.
I remember last year, the year before, you talked some about if the officers, and this blew my mind, even touch someone who's had,
Yes.
was it fentanyl? Did
Yeah,
we ever
we've
take
had
care of
officers
it?
overdose on fentanyl. I had a corrections officer that was trying to get some fentanyl tablets out of a girl's mouth one night. 15 minutes later, she went out. And then they called me one night and it was, an officer was making an arrest. The guy went in the bathroom, was smoking something, didn't know what it was, got him back in the car, and the officer went down.
Oh.
And so,
Did we
Yep.
get you something to protect your officers with that?
well,
Narcan.
Narcan best we can. I mean, they got Narcan, but still,
Yeah.
you're always going to put yourself in those situations. You know, you never know what you're coming up on.
Right.
It's a different world. It's just from the days that we grew up, different world out there, folks.
Do you have drone problem with that fenced in area? Do you have an outdoor area for them to exercise and
I
stuff?
know they got recreation rooms. The rooms right here, you see the big windows?
Yeah.
That's rec. That's the rec area. And you just open the windows. And that's considered the rec time outside. That jail was not built. Well, we didn't have a fence. They could run all the way over South Ocoee Street. But no, we got that rec fence. So.
Any more questions? Steve, I tell you, thank you so much.
Thank y'all.
Good stuff. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, yeah. Should about 3.
Thank you.
Right there, we can see that right there.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, that's good stuff. We appreciate so much what you do. I mean,
Thank y'all
really,
for
it's
having
just,
me. Appreciate it.
we love it. My thanks to Austin for 104 coverage, not to Steve.
Yes.
Yeah, don't even have to mention it.
I echo.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we really appreciate that. Thanks, guys, for the time. Next week,
Is Chief Gibson
Chief Gibson next week. Okay.
with a rebuttal, right?
Yeah.